there's, this huge conversation that keeps on being discussed about the term defund the police. Can you explain to me what you feel like that term means? And then also I want to know why or why not you think that the term should stay the same or be changed.
So I definitely support defund the police. I'm not the author of it, but I have adopted the language, especially thinking about Black Lives Matter and the organization and the movement for Black Lives and others who have really coined the phrase and been pushing it out there. I
Right.
support it 100%. Well, number one, it's not what I think defund means. I know what it means because there's a big difference between abolishment and defunding.
Okay.
Abolish police would be to get rid of police forever, right? And I am an abolitionist, and there are many who believe that one day we could get to a place where we have a different system for addressing, rape and murder and things that require people who might not be able to function in society with the rest of us, to put them somewhere or deal with them in some way. Which I also believe that if you back up and deal with the mental health issue in our community, you may actually be able to reduce some of even the rape and the murder and other things, because we're passing down generational trauma, and that has to be addressed. So I do believe that one day we can abolish police, but that's
Okay.
not what we're talking about right now. We're
Okay.
talking about funding, which means that there are billions of dollars in blown up budgets being spent with police every single year. In New York City alone, I think we're talking about something like, I don't even know, I forgot the number, but it's crazy. It's like outrageous. There are cities across the country who have started defunding the police, which means simply to take some of that money away, some of the militarized budget, where you have in Louisville, Kentucky, when we were there fighting for Breonna Taylor, and we were out at marches, police were showing up with equipment as if they were going to bombs over Baghdad. Like they were showing up with, for protesters, they have the equipment that they would take overseas to fight a war against people who are not American citizens, right? We are people who pay taxes here,
Right.
and we're being flashbanged, and police are, throwing cocktails out and tear gas bombs and all types of things. And they're doing that against folks who are upset because y'all killing us. So it's not even like we just woke up one day and we said, hey, let's go tear up the streets. No, there are people who are actually angry because they want to see a change in the system, and they're tired of us being killed. And the
Mhm.
system responds in a way that is as if we're the threat rather than the individuals who took the life of whomever it is we're fighting for. And so to defund the police would mean that we would take some of that budget away, and we would apply it to things like mental health in our community. We would apply it to addressing some of the very serious issues around poverty. We would apply it to food deserts and making sure that we have the fresh fruits and vegetables that's necessary. We would apply it to addressing drugs in our community. We would apply it to looking at gun violence as a public health issue, where we can actually address again some of the issues that put guns in people's hands, especially our young people, making sure people have jobs, making sure people have housing. That's what we're saying, is that there needs to be a more fair and equitable system. And at this point, we don't have that. So there are those who want to use the slogan defund as an opportunity to create division within our movement. And they're not just Republicans or conservatives or people that don't have our interests. There are also Democrats, liberals, people who are supposed to be with us, that are a part of the confusion that is being caused because some people are too afraid to go up against police unions and to fight them. They are very powerful. They don't bend or break easily, and it is not an easy movement to win. And a lot of them also, you think about the investment that police unions have made in campaigns, and in sponsoring, if you will, donating to candidates. And so
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who don't, it is not of their interest to upset those people who are against defunding the police. They don't want to shake it up. They don't want to upset that. So what they have done is started to focus on the slogan rather than the actual plan. They
Right.
want to actually give more money to police. And even Joe Biden, which we are getting ready to, fight him hard on the idea that he's talking about giving more money to police and saying that police actually need better training. Training is not the issue. They've been trained. And the reason why we know that the training is there is because when they go into other communities, these things don't happen. What has to happen in our community is, one, again, we need to create systems where they don't even have to show up, first of all. So we don't need to have police overloading and overflowing in our communities. We need services so that we don't have to call the police at all. A mother who has a mentally unstable individual in her household should not have to call 911 when that child or that individual is having some type of breakdown. She should
Right.
be able to call another number to get services. So that's what we're talking about. And the last thing that I'll say, I think you asked, it was a two-part question. What does it mean and why not? Oh, and why not change the slogan? So
Yes.
here's the deal. The movement, the activists, the people on the ground created that slogan and are
Right.
carrying defund the police. It's
Right.
not our job to speak to the sensitivities of other people. That's not our job. Our job is to speak in a way that is clear about what we need and that also condemns the oppressor or the people who are hurting us. It is up to the politicians and others, and that's why honestly, I was very disappointed with President Obama when he made the statements that he said, because it's not our job to tone down. It's your job to figure out how to help us get it done.